So today is February 16th, 2021, and as y'all know, lately things have been a little on the fucked up side. Um, 2020 was totes cray cray. Yeah, I know all the hip lingo, baby. It was straight up and down, left and right. It was cray cray as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Can you do the cray cray, baby? Sit up and down, left and right, back and front. Can you do the cray cray? Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh wee, baby. Y'all watch out for that. That's gonna be a big banger. That's gonna be the next big bang. Y'all watch out. Y'all know what it is, baby. I wish I could say that 2021 got off to a good start, relatively speaking, but if I said that, I'd be lying. January 6th, we had in what could only be described as one of the most quintessentially disgusting and egregious displays of terror and treason, really. Donald Trump and that motherfucker Giuliani incited a mob of his sycophants, a mob of these fucking lunatics to storm the Capitol building and wage a violent insurrection at overthrowing democracy, overthrowing the democratically elected administration, Biden's administration. And it was very fucked up. I've never witnessed anything like this in my life, in my 37 years. So things have been cray-cray, to put it lightly. So there's really only one thing I want to discuss, just because I think it's pretty hilarious, or at least noteworthy. All right, if you don't think it's hilarious, I'm sure that you at least could agree that it's kind of noteworthy, interesting, a little bit interesting. May not be the most fascinating thing in the world, but it's a little bit interesting. And I just want to preface it by saying, our social milieu, our social fabric, like just about anything, is something that's malleable. It's something that's always changing and evolving. It's not static. All right. Everything affects everything. And, while certainly there are things that don't change, or at least we haven't figured out how to change them, like myriad laws of physics, sociology, social norms, social conventions, and things of this nature are constantly changing. And right now, we're at a critical juncture. Right now, we're at a really weird time. And it's weird, but it's good. Or at least it appears to be. Right, we're at a time where it appears there's more people now, for the first time in my lifetime, that are vehemently in support of equality and in support of civil rights and trying to manifest a framework or zeitgeist that predicated upon equality and to try to help out disadvantaged groups. It seems for the first time in my life, the majority of people are in favor of this, and the majority of people condemn things like white supremacy and white privilege. All right. So what are the one funny consequence of this is that uh, conventional right-wing narratives and talking points have just kind of stopped. They've just kind of stopped, which I find very, very funny. I mean, I think one of the major narratives, if not the quintessential right-wing narrative, was to never interfere with the free market. Don't tell me that there's disadvantaged people. No. In the free market, everyone has a fair chance. All you got to do is pull up your bootstraps, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. You know what I'm saying? And we've all heard it 10 trillion times. I've heard it more times than I'd care to hear in my lifetime. And we always knew this narrative was nonsense, was unequivocal bullshit. We always knew that. We knew the only reason they promulgate this and they try to perpetuate this narrative is because they don't want to give up their privilege, okay? If they admitted, that they had privilege, then you might call them an asshole, or you might say, hey, okay, you're admitting that you have, significant privilege. Well, why don't you help out the have-nots? Why don't you help out people that, are part of disenfranchised groups, or people that are struggling, people that are disadvantaged? So, throughout my whole life, I've heard them say this consistently. I've heard them consistently espouse this rhetoric. And now we're at this weird time, which is good, that, it appears that for the first time, certainly in my lifetime, the first time in many, many, many centuries, millennia, really, like a long ass motherfucking time. The free market is not serving the interest of conservatives. It's not serving the interest of white heterosexual Christian conservatives. I mean, it is to a large degree, but not nearly as much as in the past. So it's pretty funny, if you ask me. Just like that, you know what I'm saying? They've pretty much all stopped spouting this narrative, which is so intrinsic or endemic to the right-wing ethos, or allegedly. It's and I think it's pretty motherfucking hilarious. It's pretty hilarious because, listen, we always knew it was bullshit. All right, we always knew it was bullshit. And we always knew there was an agenda. We always knew that they did this strategically. We always knew they said this just because they don't want to lose their privilege. Of course not everyone has equal shot in the free market. You out of your goddamn mind. We always knew. They knew it was bullshit. But they kept perpetuating it because they didn't want to admit their privilege, which is blatantly obvious, and they didn't want to lose it. They were desperately clinging on, you know what I'm saying? Desperately clinging on to that. Because they really didn't want it. And I get it. Privilege is a nice thing. I think honor is a nicer thing. I think to be an honorable person is better than to be a privileged person, but that's just me. Anyway, for now, for the first time in ever, the free market in the States and here in Canada, it's not serving the interest of white, right, conservative, Christians. or I should say heterosexual Christians, uh, nearly as much as it did historically. And they've conveniently, conveniently all stopped parodying this narrative. Very convenient and very convenient. And it's just funny. I mean, you could call it a poetic justice. You could, I don't mean, you could say something about karma, or karma's a bitch. Say what you will, but I think it's pretty pretty funny, and certainly a good thing. The other adage that these salty conservatives have pretty much seized altogether is this term snowflake, which I never understood. I think it was coined by that Tommy Lauren chick, and it's supposed to mean overly sensitive or something to that effect. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it? I mean, haven't y'all seen the Karen videos? There was never any credibility to this anyway. Look, people on both sides get angry indeed, but when it comes to people having meltdowns over totally inconsequential, trivial nonsense, while granted, both liberals and conservatives get angry. We're all human beings, but when it comes to just flipping out about totally inconsequential, trivial bullshit, I mean, I think it's pretty goddamn clear that conservatives are a lot more notorious for this. All you have to do. Have y'all seen the Karen videos on YouTube? All you have to do is go on YouTube, and you'll type in Karen meltdowns or Karen freaking out or something, and you're gonna have thousands, probably, videos of primarily white conservative women, sometimes men, freaking out about absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't, isolated incidents. All right, every goddamn day, there's 100 new videos that get uploaded. All right, yeah, and occasionally, you get some black woman or a Hispanic woman or something, but the vast majority of the time, it's white conservative women and men. All right, so when it comes to disproportionately who freaks out more, I think it's pretty goddamn clear. I mean, it's hard to watch these things. These are cringy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Cringy AF. And but some of them aren't just cringy. They're really not cool. And a lot of them, certainly not the majority, but in many, the person of privilege calls the cops on whoever they're mad at, in an attempt to use their privilege as a means to weaponize the police against them. Because they know, historically, police have always sided with privileged groups, namely white people. And there's a myriad videos of these wretched women calling the cops on children for nothing. There's one where this woman calls the cops because this little child is selling water without a permit. It's a motherfucking child. It's a kid, right? Then there's the one where this woman calls the cops on a black family for barbecuing. the horrible, horrible transgression of barbecuing. There's another one where, this bitch calls the cops on some guy for riding a bike on a field, and no one's on the field. It's at a school, but there's no one, no one there. Right? You know what I'm saying? They just go on, and they're all annoying. But these things. This is serious, and this is what happens when people are too entitled and too privileged for too long. This is what invariably happens. This kind of bullshit. And it's not cool. I mean, yeah, we could laugh, oh, those stupid fucking Karens, but this really isn't cool, this phenomenon, because this didn't start now. It's just we all have cell phones now. It's a video recording. I had to take out my camera. I live in Toronto, and there's one of these Karens walking around, drunk as fuck, but that's not a justification. You know what I'm saying? And she's just walking around, confronting every black person, and being, you nigger, get out of my fucking country, get out of my fucking country. So I'm like, God damn it, I pull up the camera, I'm like, all right, Karen, you want to be famous? Looks like you want to be famous. I'm going to make your ass famous. You know what I'm saying? This is just a testament to how goddamn prevalent this is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this shit is happening all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? Flipping out about nothing. So, I mean, the conservatives have pretty much dropped that whole snowflake narrative because it's painfully obvious that there was not a modicum of truth to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That one was dead wrong. So they dropped that too. And like I said, they conveniently dropped the free market, pull yourself from your bootstraps thing, because like I said, they were just using it strategically. We know what they were doing. And now that the free market's not serving them like it was prior, now they're not so fond of it. They're not so fond of the free market. How do you like that? You know what I'm saying? How do you like that? Conventionally they would always say, you always trust in the free market, and all of a sudden it's not suited them so well, and goddamn, all of a sudden they're not so fond of the free market anymore. Ain't that a motherfucker? Alright, y'all, I gotta hit the sack because it's past my bedtime. So until next time, y'all, it's your boy Justin Creever, aka Young Mummy, the mother of the streets. Alright, y'all, take care. Peace.